Hey, welcome back, fourth graders. Today we're going to talk about pages 312 and 313 in your science lesson for this week, where we've been talking about tools that scientists use to do their work and to discover answers to questions that they might have or to complete tasks. And so today's focus is on safety. And so on page 312, I'm going to read this passage, and hopefully you are reading along either on the screen or in your textbook. Okay, so let's start. Safety. Scientists know that they must work safely when doing experiments and using tools. You need to be careful when you do science activities too. Always follow these safety rules. And here's a list of science safety rules. Read the activity carefully before you start. Listen to the teacher's instructions. Ask questions about things you do not understand. Keep your work area neat and clean. Clean up spills right away. Never, and I must reiterate this, never taste or smell any substance unless directed to do so by your teacher. Handle sharp items and other equipment carefully. Use chemicals carefully. Dispose of chemicals properly. Help keep plants and animals that you use safe. Tell your teacher if there is an accident or if you see anything that looks unsafe. Wash your hands well when you are finished. Wear safety goggles and gloves when necessary, and tie back long hair. Okay, so there's a list of our science safety rules and things that we need to think about when we are performing scientific experiments. And so our first question up here is number 8. It is infer, and of course infer means that we use what is explicitly in the text, what it says right here in this passage. And also our background knowledge, or what we already know. And we put those two things together to answer a question. Why do you think people with long hair need to tie it back when they do a science experiment? Think about that for a minute, and then I'm going to give you one example. Well, I have long hair. And yesterday I was trying to do some work outside with my two sons, and one of the frustrating things that happened to me because of my long hair, even though I had it pulled back, part of it was still getting in my face and in my eyes while I was working, and I couldn't see what I was doing. And so one reason that a person with long hair needs to tie it back when they do a science experiment is because long hair could get in your eyes and prevent you from seeing properly. So I'm going to write that answer right here. Long hair may get in your eyes and prevent, you could also say or keep and prevent you from seeing properly. Now, if you already answered that question or you had a different example, another reason, that's totally fine. So you don't have to change your answer to match mine, as long as your answer makes sense, okay? Number 9, identify. Suppose you are doing an activity with vinegar and baking soda. Circle the safety rules that apply. Well, this is probably going to be a lot of these, so let's look at those carefully, okay? So we're doing it, let's pretend we're doing an experiment with vinegar and baking soda. What are the safety rules that might apply to doing an activity with vinegar and baking soda? Well, of course, we want to read the activity carefully before you start. You always want to listen to your teacher's instructions. and ask questions about anything that you don't understand. You want to keep your area, your work area, neat and clean up spills right away. You definitely don't want to taste some vinegar and baking soda, even though those two things are non-toxic and they will not hurt you, and they're used in cooking, and so you could taste of either one of those things. We wouldn't want to do that because they don't taste good. What about handling sharp items and other equipment carefully? If we're working with vinegar and baking soda, neither one of those are sharp, and so we can probably skip that one. Use chemicals carefully. Dispose of chemicals properly. Yes, definitely. Those are two things that are considered chemicals, and there is a chemical reaction that takes place when you mix those two things together. That's pretty fun to watch, so we want to be careful about those. Help keep plants and animals that you use safe. Well, hopefully we're not using plants or animals with this vinegar and baking soda, so we can skip that one for this activity. Tell your teacher if there is an accident or if you see anything that looks unsafe. Definitely. Wash your hands well when you're finished. Always, no matter what we're doing, we wash our hands well when we're finished. Wear safety goggles and gloves when necessary. Yes, definitely. And tie back long hair. Of course, because we already listed one reason for that would be that it would get in your eyes and prevent you from being able to see. And if you can't see, then you can't work well. So those are all good answers for number 9. Number 10, explain what do these students need to do to be safe? Let's look at that picture, that photograph there. There's a boy and a girl, and they are doing something. It looks like maybe sand. What do you think that maybe something that they need to do when they're finished? They're working with sand. It looks like they're working with sand. So, safety goggles, probably not necessary. Any of these that we listed above here, that are listed above here, would work, except for, of course, handling sharp items and other things. But one of the things I'm going to say, and this is just one answer, okay? So if you put something different, it's okay. I'm going to say wash their hands well when they are finished. You might also say clean up their area. Don't taste or smell that. Sand up your nose or in your mouth is not a pleasant experience. So either of those would work as well. Okay, let's move on to page 313. Remember that you can always pause the video if you need a little more time to write your answers. So that's the great thing about having this on video, that you can just pause it and take your time if you need to, or take a break. Okay, on page 312, it continues talking about safety, and we're going to read this paragraph right here. Following safety rules keeps you and others from getting hurt. Some chemicals can damage your skin or eyes. Safety goggles and gloves can protect you from these chemicals. If you are working with something that is sharp or moves quickly, safety goggles will protect your eyes. Gloves can protect your hands. And then it shows 2 photos of different children down here doing different scientific experiments or science activities. Number 11, right. The students below are following safety rules. Explain how each student is protected. What do you notice about the girl right here in this photo with what do you notice about this child with the goggles on? Well, that's the first thing I noticed, was that this child is wearing goggles. And so So this child is being protected from anything that they're using. Okay, so explain how each student is protected. Goggles, protect the student's eyes. During the experiment. That's just one answer. That's just one possible answer. Okay? What do you notice about the girl in this next photo? Well, the first thing that I notice is that she is wearing gloves. Okay? So gloves are going to protect her hands from, protect her skin, right? So gloves protect her skin as she works. Now, even though this is science, I would like for you to begin your sentences with a capital letter and put an N mark at the end and make them look nice, okay? Do it as best you can. Number 12, summarize. How can tools help you do science? And there are lots of answers that you could give there. Tools can help you make measurements. They can help you make observations. And they can help you analyze data or data. So I'm going to say tools can help you make measurements and observations and you could say analyze or study data. And data is information that is gathered. I'm going to slide my book up a little bit. Okay. Number 13, unlock the big question. Judge, why is it important for scientists to compare their observations with the observations of others? And one of the possible answers is that scientists can make sure that their observations are accurate and complete. Remember, we talked about how a tool might not be functioning properly, and so that would give you incorrect data. And so you wouldn't want to use incorrect data, and that's why scientists work together and they compare their observations, or they do tasks over and over again to make sure that they get the same answer every single time. And so one of our possible answers, and you may have put something different and you may choose to put something different, is that scientists can make sure that their observations are accurate and complete. And that concludes that part of the assignment. The bottom just says, stop, I need help with, and you could put something there. Wait, I have a question about, or go, now I know something else. You do not have to complete this part, so I'm going to put an X over that. If there's a question that you have, you can go into Teams or Skype or have a parent, or you can text me or send me a remind message. or email me through your email account. Any of those ways you can contact me. But and let me know that you need help or you have a question. I have also posted on Facebook a challenge, not just for you, but for anyone that follows my Facebook page, my personal one, and many of your parents do. So encouraging other people from all over the place that I know to post photos of those scientific tools that you are looking for around your house. And I posted one of a tool that I have in my house that is probably the coolest one that I own, and it is called a Galileo thermometer. And so you can look on Facebook and see my photo of that sitting in my house, and then you can read, I posted from a source online what a Galileo thermometer does and how it works. And so I challenge you to get your photos or videos and post those to that post on my Facebook page, okay? On that comment. Just look for that post that I made about the photo challenge. And so I will see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.